Good morning, everyone. World of Warcraft has dropped a bomb about housing coming in the next expansion, Midnight. We're going to go over it, and there's a lot to take in. It looks like Blizzard's doing the right thing about housing, but let's see what they say about housing coming to Midnight in World of Warcraft. Zoning in on home. We've seen a lot of discussion and speculation from the community on where players will be able to have houses. We decided early on that there would be 2 housing zones available at launch. One for Alliance and one for Horde. Makes sense. With more possible places to live in the future. The Alliance zone takes inspiration from Elwyn Forest with touches of Westfall and Duskwood. Makes sense. And the Horde's inspired by Durotar, its coastline, and Ashara. There are 2 main reasons for this decision. Number 1, having many housing zones conflicts with the second pillar of designing a feature that is deeply social. In a world where players can live in many different zones, they become increasingly spread out, and even with aggressive sharding, the chance of seeing other players, much less interacting with them, drops quickly. I would agree with that. Number 2, putting it bluntly, zones are a lot of work. Finally, we get some transparency from Warcraft. We'd much rather do a great job with a small number of zones than do a passable job on a large number or come up with solutions that take the player out of the world into their own personal personal instance of a zone. We chose these as our starting points because of how iconic they are for their respective factions and how much they feel like home to so many players already. All right. So again, these are neighborhoods that we're going to be doing for housing in World of Warcraft. I really feel good about this. A home for everyone. This is important, and this is a good step in the right direction for housing. As part of our focus on wide adoption, we wanted to ensure that housing is available to everyone. If you want a house, you can have a house. That means you get a house, you get a house, you get a house. No exorbitant requirements or high purchase costs, no lotteries, and no onerous upkeep. And if your subscription lapses, don't worry, your house doesn't get repossessed. That's a big dig at Final Fantasy XIV right there. Your houses are also shared amongst your warband. Whoa, with your different characters being able to come and go as you see fit. So your orc character can hang out in your Alliance house without a problem. That's fantastic. Housing rewards are also shared across your warband, pretty much like everything else. So you'll be able to use your decor collection no matter which character earns it. Here we go. Furthermore, it's not just warbands that cross factional lines, but friendships as well. So you'll be able to live in or visit your friends' or guildmate houses and their neighborhoods with minimal restrictions regarding faction. For example, while it's not possible for your human character to buy a house in the Horde zone, your troll character in the same warband can, and then your human can use it as if it were their own. Before we go, we want to mention the concept of neighborhoods as a small tease. This is another big deal, and this is how you know that Warcraft's going in the right direction with housing. Houses are organized into roughly 50 plot neighborhoods, letting players live next to each other, work together, and share in the rewards of being part of the neighborhood. Neighborhoods are instant, but crucially also persistent, so your neighbors can be your neighbors for years to come, or until one of you moves. Neighborhoods also come in 2 flavors: public neighborhoods, which the game servers are responsible for creating as needed and maintaining. Number 2, private neighborhoods, created by a group of friends or guilds to inhabit, progress, and customize together. So while an individual player can have a house, a community can have a neighborhood. This is a really, really great first step. This was really thought out. You're kind of taking housing from Final Fantasy XIV and ESO, and you're kind of mashing it together in a better way as we look at it right now. Great job, Warcraft. Great job.